So, this is Halloween 3 and Corey's rotten, no good, very bad day.
What? Halloween 3.
What'd I say?
This is like Halloween 15 or some
In
shit.
this particular trilogy, we're going with 3.
Wait. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, now who's defeatist?
I'm not. How is that defeatist?
I don't know how is what I was doing defeatist.
You weren't making a slight adjustment just because you were like, it won't make a difference, even though it would.
I didn't say it would make a difference. I just don't want to do it.
That's very different. All right. Halloween ends.
We're bickering like an old married couple. So Halloween Ends, which is the last of the trilogy of the most recent Halloween movies, of the kind of sort of reboot, kind of sort of sequel. Well, technically, like sequel to the first, but anyway.
Yeah.
This movie's
the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy.
Yes. You and I both had very low expectations going into this.
Oh yeah, Halloween Kills was bad.
Halloween Kills was really bad. We didn't like it. We liked the Halloween before that.
That one was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
It was decent. It was a solid 7.5. Yeah.
And the ratings for this one are pretty bad. So
it's funny because this one has the lowest average ratings of the three of them.
Yeah, and we went in this thing is gonna suck, and it's schlocky, but I had a good time.
I
had a great time.
I think it's the best of the three.
You think so?
Yeah. I remember enjoying the first one, but much in the way where it's like, yeah, this is decent enough for me to not be angry. Like, it wasn't exceptional. It was just solid, you know? Mm-hmm. And then Halloween Kills was just bad. It was clearly filler. It was just like a bunch of unconnected kills for fun. And sure, if you're just looking for filler, it's okay. But I feel like it just had nothing to it. It was just a nothing burger.
Yeah, that's bringing away.
And this one did a really interesting thing that I really enjoyed, and I don't want to spoil it. There are things I want to talk about in the spoiler section where, because there are themes in this one that I find very interesting.
It is it is extremely on the nose. Like, this movie doesn't have an ounce of subtlety to it at all, which is not a bad thing in my opinion. Like, I enjoyed it because of that.
I don't come to Halloween movies for subtlety.
True, but I think it's kind of makes the movie stand out for me personally compared to the other two. Is like the first one feels like it was taking itself fairly seriously.
Yes.
The second one took itself too seriously, and that's why it sucked.
With nothing to say.
With nothing really to say. And then the third one feels like, fuck it. Like, of the three.
This one's having fun, and I also feel like it has better thematic elements than the last one.
Mm-hmm. Even if, again, it is like, it takes kind of what they were trying to do in 2, and, like, if you being generous saying they're trying to do anything. And mostly with, like, the homeless guy in the second one.
No, I think this one's way...
I agree.
I think it's a different theme. Entirely.
It's kind of a similar theme, like, create your own monsters kind of thing, but again, without going to spoilers.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We'll get into it. But the kills in this one were great.
The kills are awesome.
I mean, the last one, he basically just stabbed a bunch of people.
This one got creative.
Yeah, this one got pretty interesting with some of the kills. So just some really gratifying shit. Like,
yeah.
And I still really appreciate what they do with this new trilogy, where they're like kind of replicating the original color grade of the movies. Like, it doesn't go so far as like Ty West movies do to recreating the look of an era, but it does a good job of retaining the feeling of the older ones. There are definitely points where like people would pick up a cell phone and be like, oh yeah, this takes place now. Like, although
it is definitely weird to see like a radio station still be fairly popular. Like,
sure. Well, it's a smaller town.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like.
Yeah,
sure.
But definitely, the kills were a lot of fun. The plot was actually pretty interesting. I like how it progressed. I basically liked how the general basic concept grew and changed over the course of the movie and led to the climax.
It definitely took me a while to get into it. Mostly when Michael Myers finally shows up, you're like, oh, okay, this is where this is going.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. And at first, we both laughed at it. And after a while, I was like, okay, you know what? This is kind of starting to work for me.
It's like, all right, sure. Yeah, this works.
Kind of Stockholmed us a little bit. Where it's like, all right, you know what? I'm okay
was,
with this.
I was down for it way earlier than you were.
Yeah, it took me a while to get into it, but once I was in, I was like, okay, you know what? This is starting to win me over.
Yeah.
Again, just because like the kills are fun, it's well shot, it's well choreographed, and like
You think it sounded like their dance sequences?
I mean, action horror scenes.
Violence is a dance.
It kind of is, you know. These scenes take effort.
You have some fun.
Effort, coordination, and like camera coordination, and all that kind of stuff. You gotta respect that.
There's one particular shot where like someone's doing the whole like Bob and like walking around and like there's something really subtly hidden in the shadows, but you can see what's happening.
I saw it before you did.
You saw it before I did. I saw something moving and I was like, what is it? But when we both realized what it is, we just started laughing. It's just a great horror gag.
Yeah. Like I said, this movie does not take itself all that seriously.
Yeah.
Although probably the most realistic thing about it in a weird way is that it portrays like the modern day nerds, like that. Not modern day nerds, the modern day bullies as like marching band nerds.
Yeah, right. Like bullies aren't just your like average random people, like random jocks anymore.
The bullies aren't the jocks anymore. It's the pretentious nerds.
Yeah. I do appreciate the. I do appreciate the way that they have the idea of just simmering resentment within the town. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not as outright as the last one. It actually feels a little more realistic in this one. It's not like to the point of being ridiculous. Like the points where characters do accost other characters and be like,
wow, let's not give it too much credit.
I felt like it was better than the previous one.
I'm not saying it wasn't better, but I am saying it was like, I feel like being more realistic with some of the characters in this is being too generous.
It's not too generous. That's a low bar, Michael.
Okay, fair point.
That's all I'm saying. It was a really fucking low bar.
Because like some of the characters are just, again, especially the bully characters, are just cartoonishly.
Of course,
like,
but I'm saying the people who are resentful against the main characters of this movie.
Like as a general atmosphere, I can see that.
Yes. This is a town with demons that will not rest.
Yeah, like
not just in terms of Michael Myers still existing, but just wounds that have not healed that these people are at the center of, and it's. I like that as a concept. I like that as. It almost reminds me of the way that It was supposed to happen.
Yeah, like you mean Chapter 2?
Well, yes, but Chapter 2, like it didn't really do it as explicitly in the movie as it was originally done in the book.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of the book was that the reason that it thrived so much under this town was because essentially it took a hold of the hatred and resentment in its residents and fed upon it and like fed into it to make it worse. So the people just turned into uglier versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And this kind of carries over that thematic element from like the ending, at least, of Halloween Kills. But I think that this did a better job of having it more as like a background thing. It
does feel like it was like, again, the main issue of Halloween Kills, of Elegant was trying to do it badly and take itself way too seriously in the process.
God, the mob killing is still just like the stupidest fucking plot line I've seen. And it bothers me that was a part of the last movie, because it really just the way that it was trying to do something on a mob mentality. Like, I really felt like I still stand by what we were talking about last time.
Yeah.
It feels like David Gordon Green wanted to make 2 movies and they forced him to make a trilogy.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna have Michael kill a bunch of people for no reason, and I guess we'll have some random plot line in the middle.
Yeah. About
this homeless dude who gets accosted by the town. Like,
yeah.
It was bad. And it was like, God, that was like a 4 or 5 out of 10 for me. Like, it was just not enjoyable. It just felt aimless. This one does not feel aimless.
No.
That's the main thing about it, I think, that really pulls it through for me.
And I feel like tonally it has a good balance.
Yes.
Between, like, I think what works best about these movies, which is, like, the schlocky as fuck kills, the over-the-top nature of it.
Yeah.
While also, like, trying to do something a little different with it, which is kind of, like, again, atmospherically at least, kind of present this town resentment in a better way.
Yeah.
Even if, like, the individual writing standpoints are ridiculous and over the top.
Sure.
But again, like, I feel like it comes that balance of being, like, a kind of a schlocky B movie, but not not unintentionally,
It's got a little bit of camp. It's got a little bit of camp to it. It's just how that goes.
Yeah, it's very campy, and I enjoyed it for that.
Yeah. But somehow I feel like it still landed better in the more serious parts that it tried to do.
Probably because it's not afraid to go into camp compared to the second. Because like, there's a kind of weird thing like good comedies do this where they can get into more serious stuff much more effectively than like serious movies do.
Yeah.
Because the comedy stuff disarms you enough so that it impacts you more. Now I'm not giving this movie that much credit, but I do think because it's not afraid to embrace its sillier side, it does succeed more in that grounds for that reason.
Yeah. Random people. Don't worry.
Okay. But. So basically what I'm saying is I agree.
Yeah, so I don't understand why this has so much lower ratings. I feel like a lot of trilogies have this problem where the third movie just gets lower ratings because, like, it's kind of the resolution of the thing. I feel like all the way from, you know, Matrix Revolutions to, like, Halo 3. Like...
I mean, like, I can kind of see a little bit of why it does, mostly because it does feel like... Michael Myers is kind of a cameo in his own movie, even though he has more screen time in this movie than he does in the last movie.
He is not on screen as much as he could be, and I understand why some people might be like, I wanted a Halloween movie, and like, that's the thing though. I was happy enough with what they were doing that I was able to let that go very quickly.
Yeah, so was I.
But yeah, so let's just like
go into it.
I want to get into spoiler territory so we can really talk about this shit. So it's good. It's worth seeing. If you like the last one, I don't understand you, but watch this one. It's better. Like, you know, more power to you. Yeah.
Let's just jump into it.
This was solid.
Yeah, I enjoy, honestly, like, for what it is, like, I'm not gonna say this is like pinnacle of cinema or anything like that, but like, for like a slasher Halloween movie, I had a good fucking time.
God,
and
which entry is this in the franchise? I really want to know.
I don't know. While you're figuring that out, I guess it was preamble. But yeah, like, I personally recommend it. I was genuinely entertained. I had a really good time with it. I liked it more than Smile, oddly, in a weird way. I recommend it. Take that for what it's worth.
That's so strange.
What?
Why I was disappointed over Kyle Richards' Lindsay Wallace. I was disappointed about this character.
Shoot. The one that's in, like, 2 scenes?
Yeah, she's barely there. Like...
Was she supposed to be a big thing or something?
Well, she was one of the only characters to survive, last time. I guess she just wanted her to have more of a role in the movie, but whatever.
That feels like being upset that you didn't get the movie you wanted, as opposed to actually critiquing the movie you got.
Okay, I appreciate that they made this the end of the franchise, making it 13 movies. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
You know,
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
You know what? That's probably why Halloween Kills exists.
That's probably, yeah. Let's make it. Okay, I'll give them that. But, yeah, so, number 13, fantastic. All right, so spoilers.
Spoilers.
Let's
Yeah.
Spoilers. What was that?
I don't know.
You just wave your hands. What the fuck is a kiss face?
Leave me alone.
Never, Michael. That's what the viewers come for. Us bickering like an old married couple. Like,
evidently so.
All right. So
this movie's about Corey.
Yeah, Corey, and honestly, like, this movie opens with a scene that is so ballsy. And it was so unrelated to Michael Myers.
Yep.
That
both of us were like, what the fuck?
And it makes more sense, I think, upon rewatches.
Of course, yeah.
Because since Corey is the burgeoning evil of this movie, opening with the thing that broke him is really the thing that, like, makes sense as the intro to the movie, considering he's kind of more the main character than Michael is.
Yeah.
But the way they kill this child is pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And, like,
just kicks a fucking attic door down, the kid just goes flying.
I thought the kid was gonna, like, fall down the stairs or something, and the parents would walk up and find him No, he fucking falls down 3 stories and just, like,
Bam.
in front of the parents just goes, poof, like, bounces. It's fucking amazing. And it's like, I was genuinely shocked because I was not expecting
Yeah.
it. And it was just this moment where I was like, fuck! Wow! They really just fucking came out the gate swinging, huh? So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, no, that was pretty gruesome. That was, and like, both of us are like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, like, why is
and
this?
why did he just murder a child?
He didn't mean to. Manslaughter.
Oh, sorry.
Child slaughter.
Why did he manslaughter? Child slaughter a child.
Boy slaughter.
I don't know what's better.
Boy slaughter sounds weirder.
Boy slaughter sounds like the worst boy camp ever. like scout camp ever.
I feel like when you bring the word boy into anything, it just makes it kind of weird. So yeah, let's stick with kid slaughter. Kid slaughter's best.
It's such a weird line.
Kid slaughter. That's a good. I feel like that's a good middle line.
That is a debatable point.
But it's better than boy slaughter.
I don't know, because either way, I feel like it's involved with somebody from Kentucky for some reason.
I don't know, but kid slaughter. Let's settle on that, okay?
All right, sure.
All right, kid slaughter. Yay!
Yay.
Okay.
I hope nobody takes that out of that should have been the intro.
I really wish someone would just like go through all of our clips and just do like a greatest hits out of context of us. Just like
I don't want that. I don't need those internet comments.
I want that. That would be so. We've had so many ridiculous moments over the years.
True,
Michael.
but I don't want someone to bring back like some of the jokes I made in my early 20s.
I don't know. I'm sure I had some weird ones there. But we've been at this for 8 years. I've been at this for 8 years at least. You've been longer.
10.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I've been... Yeah. So, anyway. So, that was cool. Child dying graphically, gruesomely, horrifically in front of his shitty parents.
Fun!
And I like how it initially, like, immediately makes an effort to make you hate that whole family.
Yeah.
Like, out the gate, it's like, fuck these guys. Fuck them and their shitty selves and their huge house, like, all this shit. But then, so, basically, like, TLDR, this guy gets dragged away by Michael into a fucking drainage pipe where he's been staying for the past couple years, eating rats, I guess.
Yeah, sorry, but I'm trying to figure, like, apparently he's one of the Hardy Boys. I was looking up the actor who plays Corey. But anyway, continue.
But he wakes up and Michael doesn't kill him, grabs him by the throat, looks him in the eye, and apparently, like, forms this connection of evil.
Yeah.
And apparently the thing is that Corey, like... Corey was a good kid, but what he experienced after that murder was so fucking awful that he just kind of embraced the evil inside of him. And I think that that's a very interesting concept to put into a movie like this, where basically, like, if everybody says that you're a monster and you're not given a chance to be anything else, why wouldn't you just eventually give up and embrace that?
I mean, I definitely get that argument, but I feel like it also walks a fine line, because that same mentality is what brought us the Joker movie. Not exactly, but a very similar, like, society is to blame kind of thing.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I completely disagree with that point.
Okay.
I have to, because, like, with Joker, he's literally, like, just brutalized by society at every turn. And, like, yeah, he has the creepy mom and, like, the creepy overbearing mom. Yeah, sure. But, like, this kid is, like, he's not brutalized for no reason.
Okay, I can see that.
He's
argument.
not just a victim of society because he's a beta male. Like, he's a victim of society because he killed a child.
That's a
by accident.
Valid argument.
But he killed a child. So, of course, the mom's coming after him. People are making fun of him. It's like the psycho. The fucking cops are like, I know you did it. I know what you did. I know you did it on purpose. Like, there's this consistent thing where he's trying to be a good person, but people are telling him that they refuse to believe that he is. Whereas in Joker, like, he's just bullied by the world forever. And he decides to go fucking Columbine on everybody. Like, this, I feel, is a little bit different.
Yeah, no, I can see that argument.
I keep doing that.
No.
But, like, the way that this comes together, I think that it draws a clearer line. First off, at the fact that he could have been salvation. Salvation. Talking like Matt Berry all of a sudden. Salvation.
You are come to your salvation.
That's what it is. Oh, Clayface and Matt Berry. Oh shit, that's a crossover right there.
So cast Matt Berry as a character in that one. I don't know.
God, if they have Matt Berry as a character opposite Clayface, just like him playing a villain and Clayface, just like
there's technically 2 Clayfaces. Just have him be the other Clayface.
That would be great. Man, just. Good times. But
so anyway, glad you finally got into that show.
I'm really enjoying the Harley Quinn cartoon. It's way better than I thought it would be.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like he could have been saved. I feel like he could have had a way out. But once it is clear that he is on this path, he is clearly the villain of this movie.
Yeah.
He is not like, oh, well, he could have been, like, Allison's the only one who's fucking blinded by fucking bad boy, like, I can save him kind of shit. He is very clearly just a brutal fucking murderer as soon as he gives into that shit. Yeah. And it does give you... I really found the whole, like... their cooperation really interesting to watch. I enjoyed that quite
you mean
a bit.
with him, Michael Myers?
Yeah.
I did too. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, especially the one kill where they both, like, invade the house. And,
yeah, that's where, again...
that was fun. That was
a fun sequence. Again, just because, like, I saw before you realized what was happening, because I started laughing, because I'm just seeing, like, this dumb bimbo woman just kind of start going out, like, doctor that I'm screwing for promotions, where are you? In the back, you don't hear it, but you just see, like, his dark shadows going...
You just see a movement in the back, and you're like, what is that? It's like, it's him clearly just stabbing the fucking guy on the ground in the background, and you're like, yeah. And it's funny, because they do a good job, because when they turn on the light there, the surprise is not that there's someone being stabbed. You expect that. The surprise is that it's Corey.
Yeah.
And that's fucking great. I like that. That's a good idea, and it's executed well.
Yeah, like, I'm always, like, sucker for, like, evil apprentice kind of storylines.
Yeah.
So those are always fun. And this one, like, really, and, like, again, the actor plays Corey, just milks the fuck out of it.
Yeah, no,
like,
he does a great job.
For every ounce of scenery chewing he can take, he's gonna go for it. I honestly... The older I get, the more I respect actors that do that. That just
it's fun.
Shoot for the fucking moon.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and I think he does it really well.
I used to be much more critical, but now I'm like, nah, fuck it, have fun.
I think he does a really good job of balancing that, like, just being just overly serious enough where it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But also, like, somewhat believable in the context of the character.
Yeah. No. It works in the context of the film because the whole film's kind of in that. Again, weird balance between, like, hey, we want to say something, but we also want to be campy.
Yeah.
So he walks that line very, very well, and he's having a great time doing it. So anytime we, like, scene with him or Michael Myers or both are in the scene, they're a lot of fun. Especially when Corey starts to go full Michael Myers, and we get that scene in the junkyard where he just straight up brutalizes. But by the way, I just do think it is kind of weird that a bunch of teenagers are obsessed with just bullying, like, a mid-20-year-old.
I mean, once you know you have that fucking power over this guy, plus this fucking spoiled, shitty rich kid.
Yeah, I know, but it's also kind of like if a 16-year-old's trying to bully me, I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of my apartment.
You're not 21.
No, but even then it would still be weird.
It would have been weird, but like,
dude, where are your parents?
I think there's also something in him though where he really didn't want to get violent. He didn't want to fight back because of the reputation that he had, which is part of why he was able to, like... And I think that's another thing that kid knew. Like, he really starts bullying him when he realizes who he is.
Yeah.
And I feel like part of that is him exploiting the fact that if that guy hits back, he's got a powerful rich dad, and he can just say, like, oh, the psycho's fucking, like, being violent and just, like, ruin this kid's life.
Yeah.
And even though he was the perpetrator, he was, like, the aggressor. It's still very much just... Yeah.
I mean, except the kid never tells the dad that the guy is the one that popped his tire, even though he could have easily done that. So it implies that the kid's more afraid of the dad than the other way around.
Well, sure, but, he could still fucking use the kid's reputation against him. So.
I suppose. I don't know.
It's just how I read it, Michael.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
God. Just fucking like, I don't know. Fuck off. It's my opinion.
I'm allowed to disagree with your opinion.
No, you're not. It's my opinion.
Okay, we're just on Twitter now.
One of my favorite Twitter arguments ever, where where a guy, I forget the context of the tweet even. He just tweets "butt is legs." And then someone responds, "Butt is not legs." And he responds, "Oh no." And that is just it is so hilarious to me because it's such a microcosm of just Twitter arguments in general.
Yeah.
It's just like, "Butt is not legs. Oh no." Just the "oh no" fucking kills me. But yeah, no, it's like that. But yeah, I feel like it does a really good job of making this the central theme, and the way that it uses Corey as like, you know, an actual character turning evil and giving into the kind of base instincts that Laurie has been resisting this whole time. She specifically tells Allison, like, it's addictive to get violent. But he goes like full bore deep dive into, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. And that little, it's not a really deep character examination or anything, but as a theme to drive the movie, it's good.
It's entertaining.
It's good. It works.
Yeah, and like I said, it's like oh god, I feel bad for forgetting her name. Laurie.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Jamie Lee Curtis, thank you.
Yes.
I'm ashamed that I forgot her name.
You should be, especially after Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I know, that's why I'm ashamed.
Yeah, shame.
You know what? I've had enough of your shit the past couple days.
Have you though?
I love you. Sometimes it annoys me.
The trials and tribulations of loving me. I will test that love.
Fair. Anyway, Jamie Lee Curtis is also just reliable and always having a great time, pretty much no matter what she's doing. And she is aged like fine wine, as far as I'm concerned, as an actress. Although I think it's funny, this is a bit off topic, but a whole realization I made recently was something we talked about the Everything Everywhere All at Once review, where I said like Jamie Lee Curtis looks a lot like my mom in her old age now. But the other coin of that made me horrified is I realized that my dad looks like modern day Tim Allen. I know. Yeah, that was the face I made.
So weird. That's kind of weird.
I know, it's a weird tangent, but I saw like a clip of him, like, now he's like the beard and all that stuff. I'm like, oh god. Yeah. And he starts spouting some.
You should just send him some fucking mail, just be like, "Dear Mr. Allen, please shave the beard. It makes you look like my dad, and I'm really upset by that." Signed, not even a fan.
The woke army. The general of the woke army. Yeah. But anyway, slight tangent, but it made me laugh. But yeah. And of course, the action scene where she finally does get to cut loose towards the end. It's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, you know she's going to go toe-to-toe with Michael Myers. It's the whole point of all these movies.
And it's a fucking satisfying sequence.
That might be part of why the last movie was so dissatisfying, is because she was in the fucking hospital for the whole movie.
That's part of it.
She doesn't do shit. Like, she doesn't go against Michael. Like, fucking... She was basically on hold the whole time. But yeah, she gets to have her moment. I do think the final fight against Michael was somewhat anticlimactic.
Okay.
It wasn't that long, but at the same time...
It wasn't that long, but...
Not every fight against Michael Myers has to be a 20-minute fucking implausible sequence, like breaking through every wall of a house or some shit. It actually made sense as far as a fight between two very old people at this point.
Yeah, and I feel like we got like the longer fight in the first movie.
Yeah, we definitely did get the more elaborate fight in the first movie of this trilogy, but like... This is a franchise that's been around for like 50 years, dude. Like,
yeah.
It's been around since the early 70s.
Yeah.
Or was it late 70s? It's been around for 40 to 50 years. So, like, yeah, I'd say it's fair.
Yeah.
And it's not, like, I wasn't that bothered by it.
No, I mostly was like, all right, just crucify the motherfucker, slit his throat, slit his wrist, throw a fridge on him. I'm down for that. That's cool. Yeah. It does remind me of a quote I read from John Carpenter the other day, where somebody's like, "How do you feel about the new Halloween movies and stuff like that?" I was like, "Oh, they're great. I like when they pay me, I love them. I support them. When they don't pay me, I don't like them." but when they pay me, it's great. I'm old now. Send me money.
Wait, what was the fucking, which Halloween movies was he not paid for? They're still based on his characters.
I don't know, maybe the Rob Zombie movies. I don't know.
Really?
I have no idea. I'm speculating.
Oh, you're okay. Wait.
But either way, that was hey, it doesn't even have Halloween. Any movies I make, just give me money, and I don't care. Do what you want with it. And I kind of respect that, honestly. Like, that's my new life goal.
As long as he just keeps making some music every here and there,
Yep.
that'll be good.
Yeah,
that'll be fine.
But this movie's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
Definitely. I will stand by what I said. It is the most fun of the new trilogy.
I honestly agree. Favorite kill?
The blowtorch.
Yeah, the blowtorch.
Pretty good. Yeah.
I think that's all we got.
All right. So,
hold on, before you get to that, I know where you're going with this.
Human Centipede.
I actually do have an announcement first. Before we ignore that. So the Scott Pilgrim video is done. It's on our Patreon right now. So if you want to watch that early, go check it out there. It's going to be released publicly on Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So hope you guys watch that. And yeah, anyway, you were saying?
Human Centipede. We got to watch it. There's a thing that like actually cohesively ties them together. All right? And like each one has its own face.